The first movies were very simple. They weren't entertainment based at all. The potential of the motion picture camera was completely unexplored. This is why the first films were documentary based. As you can see here, I've added an old video static effect and a black and white effect to keep with the times of when this type of video was created. In this example, it's shown that the Lumiere brothers didn't do much with the device as it was the first motion picture camera and they didn't really care about exploring the potential of it. In this time period, it was just used to record daily lives of people in trains coming into their stations. In this project, I have no idea what I was meant to be doing, so I was just given some directions, but I still didn't understand them, so it just turned out like this. What this project was meant to do was replicate the magician George Melly's technique of using jump cuts to make things appear if they were teleporting. This project was meant to replicate the Kubashov effect, but I don't think it really went as well as I expected, because it was just people doing Fortnite dances and I couldn't really do much with that, so I just put them like this. The Kubashov effect is a single shot interacting with two or more shots. To some, it may appear that the single shot is changing emotion from the clip it's interacting with. This is my example of cross-cutting. I feel like this went pretty well in terms of editing techniques. I think right here is the most obvious giveaway that the scenes are about to meet in the middle. This bit is a good build-up with obvious character roles shown in their body language, with the robber looking rushed and aggressive and the sheriff looking calm and collected. This is also what happens in the good, the bad, the ugly standoff, with the good guy looking calm while the others are looking shaky and impatient. This is a clip from the Silence of the Lambs, which shows cross-cutting or a parallel ending. This is probably the best example of cross-cutting because it shows exactly what we need, two scenes that have something to do with each other that meet at the end. This is the clip from the previously mentioned standoff. You can see tension building up as you see the characters you come to know face off in a final standoff. Movies back then had everything turn out good in the end for the main character, but it still built tension. This starts off with the cross-cutting left off, but the main problem is Max has a different jacket because he forgot. This segment went well with building up tension, with the same music as the good, the bad, the ugly, since that was what I got inspiration from. The close-ups of the characters' faces worked well. The only slight problem is that if you look closely you can see that we're talking while we're being filmed. You can't tell we're talking because we have bandanas on, which is also why the scene worked well. We have even closer shots of the characters' faces to build up more tension, and also close-ups of the characters' weapons. The fact the sheriff was holding his weapon and the robber was not could be considered foreshadowing for his inevitable defeat.
Is someone call the Undertaker?
This is the transition scene project or the interrogation. I personally think the acting worked well with this scene and gave a lot of character to the detective and the criminal. I think I did a lot of the transitions well, and I think I set the scene with them. The main problem was the fact that I didn't have many angles to work with, so it looked like I was overusing them, which admittedly I was. There is no direct inspiration for this project. I mainly used my knowledge of old detective movies and video games.
Where have you been hiding the money?
The transition between the bench and then me was made well due to the fact I got the sound clip to match it with the scene. There isn't much else to say about this project apart from this acting was probably better than all my other projects combined.
We know what you've done and we can prove it too!
For this I made there be a long build up so it sets the scene. When you listen to music, life becomes more interesting. I think it was a good touch to have the video start as soon as he puts the music in. Like the interrogation, I didn't take any direct inspiration from anything. I just used what off the top of my head I had with montages and stuff that fits well with music in general. Here, me and Sophie both didn't want to be in front of the camera, so we got Rachel to be in front of the camera. Most of the sounds I did myself, but I got the birds from the internet. In this part it's meant to be Rachel going into a darker area with like a waterfall, which you can tell from the wet footsteps and the fact there's like a waterfall going on in the background.